One of my first acts as a United States Senator was co-sponsoring the Rehabilitation Act, one of the most consequential civil rights laws in our nation's history, which banned discrimination on the basis of disability. No disability could be not looked at without any program that was funded by the federal government. Promoted equal access to communities, authorized independent living services, and so much more. The rehabilitation also laid the groundwork for the landmark law we celebrate here today, the Americans with Disabilities Act. Steny and Tony, they led the charge in the House of Representatives. I mean that sincerely. Led the charge, along with Major Owens. And Tom Harkin and Bob Dole led in the Senate. I was a kid, but I was proud to be a co-sponsor in the Senate. Right here in this lawn, 34 years ago, President George H.W. Bush signed it into law, proving we can work together in a bipartisan fashion to ensure the American dream is available to all of us, not just some of us. We've got to get back to those days. Today, more than 3 decades after ADA's passage, many of us can still recall an America where a person with disabilities could be denied service in a restaurant or grocery store, where an employer could refuse to interview or hire you because of a disability. But for more than 61 million Americans living with disabilities, these laws are a source of opportunity, respect, and pride, and dignity now. Dignity. My dad used to say that's the single most important thing people should be treated with dignity. But of course, these laws did not bring an end to the work we need to do. That's why Kamala and I have been so determined to move our nation forward for Americans living with disabilities. We're transforming the way the economy works for all Americans. For example, people with disabilities are working more than they ever did before. And our short term, our short term, is going to be a long term for Kamala, I hope. A record 16 million jobs were created. But of those 16 million, 2.2 million jobs were with people with disability, the highest unemployment rate on record. Wages are up. In fact, the median household income for disabled Americans is up $10,000 since Kamala and I came to office. The Labor Department is protecting workers with disability and fighting to end unjust employment practices. We're also helping state and local governments and businesses and nonprofits access federal funds to hire more disabled Americans. Access federal to hire more disabled Americans. And we're going to continue to make sure this administration looks like America, appointing people with disabilities to positions throughout our government, throughout this government,